Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's Generation Change, our monthly fireside chat with leaders, change makers, movers, and shakers around the world. Now, whether you're a regular or you're joining us for the first time, it's great to have you, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Shireen Ong, and I'm Vice President of Generation Female. We are a nonprofit association that aims to empower and support all women leaders in their personal and professional capacities through a range of events and conferences such as this one. We are also building a global community of women and allies in the hopes of raising awareness and providing access to useful content and context. And if you're not already part of our network, you can easily sign up for free at our website, generationfemale.net. So this is our sixth episode of Generation Change. We started this monthly series late last year to shine a spotlight on inspiring role models from all over the world and tap their insights on their respective areas of expertise, as well as their personal experiences. We like to keep the conversations intimate and interactive, as well as useful and relevant to those of you tuning in. So we always set aside time at the end of our conversation to answer your questions. If you're joining us on the live stream on our website, please post your comments, your questions in the comments section. Or if you're watching via YouTube, you can also post your questions there. Now, today we are very honored to be hosting Margaret Naggujja, who's joining us all the way from Kampala in Uganda. Margaret is currently co-founder and executive director of Mukusu Motors and Properties in Kampala, Uganda. So hello, Margaret, and welcome to Generation Change. We're so glad that you're able to join us today. So to start, I would like to hand you the floor to introduce yourself, maybe tell us a bit more about what Mukusu Motors and Properties does, and tell us a bit about all the many achievements you have accomplished.
Oh, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak to a number of people that are listening right now. As I'm already introduced, I'm Naggujja Margaret in Uganda. I'm an accountant by profession and a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, UK. And prior to doing business, I had worked for 16 years in different companies, the corporate institutions, external audit firms, and Chamber of Commerce. While still at the Chamber of Commerce, I was interacting with a number of the business community. And in 2011, I was able to co-found Mukusu Motors and Properties Limited, which commenced business in 2012 with a focus on selling used motor vehicles. Then after some time, I had a chance to attend a trade mission in the Netherlands, where I was able to meet agricultural companies which inspired me to join, to provide agriculture machinery to smallholder farmers. So in 2014, we started to invest in mechanization of smallholder agriculture. And that happened after I had attended also a Brilliant Entrepreneur program. In that program, I was able to discover my talent, which is that I love to help people to excel in whatever they do. And since that time, that one drives me to support smallholder farmers to change the way they work, to access labor-saving technologies such that they can be able to execute timely farm operations and increase the efficiency of land, the productivity of land. So having invested in mechanization of smallholder agriculture, I realized I needed to gain more knowledge and understanding of how the agriculture sector operates, and especially food security. So I had to attend a number of trainings which were offered by the United Institute of Training and Research. And I was able to do courses in trade in agriculture, food, and nutrition. Then I had also to do microfinance, fundamentals of microfinance, and how to implement the African Continental Free Trade Area. Of course, I've done a number of trainings, online trainings, such that I'm able to understand fully what to do in the agriculture sector. So in 2016, we were lucky to pilot our mechanization activities after going through a series of trainings by the Brilliant Entrepreneur, and I was linked to Bid Network Foundation by International Fertilizer Development Center to develop a business plan, which business plan up to now I've been following. And of course, I keep updating it, but it helped us to pilot our agriculture mechanization activities. And we started that in Eastern Uganda, whereby we had to establish a collective hiring center with a support from Connect to Grow, which was implemented by IMC worldwide, then with funding from UK Aid. So in that pilot, we were able to skill our own staff, 6 of them, and all of them were professionals. They had to go for agriculture mechanization training in India, and were able to procure 7 main tractors, which we stocked at our collective hiring center. We'd not only do that, we started to hire tractors and implements to smallholder farmers, because on their own, they cannot afford to have them. So what we do, we started to hire agriculture machinery for them to do first plowing, and we could charge them per acre, $30 per acre. And at that time, when we introduced our services, we were able to reach some farmers who increased their productivity through what we offered them. And we were able also to test the agriculture machinery that were working. We had imported in 4 ecological zones in Uganda in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture. That's what I can quickly say about the achievements that we have done so far. There are quite many, but I can pick out those few for now.
Thank you, Margaret. That's a very impressive list, and I think you really are a very great example of inclusion, where women are getting into this sort of industries that are typically dominated by men. So given your impressive career before doing what you're currently doing, I wanted to ask, how did you decide to become an entrepreneur and open your own company, and why this industry? I think you mentioned a bit about coming across the agriculture industry while during your experience, but how did you sort of identify this as the particular problem that you wanted to solve? If you can unmute yourself.
Sorry, let me first give a background. Like you've said, I've told you I was employed. At that time when I got the idea of joining business, I was working at the Chamber of Commerce. And at that time I was interacting with so many business people, and we could offer them different services. And have been a finance director and a finance director at the Chamber of Commerce, I had a duty of making sure that the members get sensitized as in terms of managing their finances, keep proper books of accounts, and also file returns. So after one of the training sessions that we conducted then, some business gentleman had been surprised by a huge tax assessment, of which he wanted us to assist him to file a tax objection. Of course, going deep into understanding of how he was doing business, I needed to get the books from him to see how we could help him. Unfortunately, he was operating in an informal way and he didn't have any kind of records. So getting to understand the business and also giving him the benefits of doing the keeping proper books of accounts, as in terms of proving to the potential investors or to the bank or to Uganda Revenue Authority the benefits of keeping proper books of accounts, he really understood and requested me to provide him a pro bono service, which pro bono service I provided for 3 months. Then at the end of the period that we had agreed on, of course, I had to let him continue. But then he said at that time, could you please join me and we do business? He was in the business of selling motor vehicles. So I did quickly accept the offer, but then I gave myself to understand what he was doing. And later on, after like 10 months of understanding how he was operating, I suggested to him that we would do business together, but in a formal way. And that required us to establish a company. So on 29th December 2011, Mukusu Motors and Properties Limited was incorporated. And since then, we've been operating together as co-shareholders.
That's a great story.
Then
you're
sorry a bit. On the side of how I entered into agriculture mechanization, I participated in a Brilliant Entrepreneur program. This program was implemented by the Netherlands Embassy in partnership with Uganda Investment Authority, Uganda Women Entrepreneurs, of which I happen to be a member. So they spotted 22 women leaders, women entrepreneurs then, who went through this intensive training of how to do business in a responsible way. So it had a component of going for a trade mission to the Netherlands. So when I went to the Netherlands, we were matched based on what we were doing. And we were given a platform as Ugandan women to pitch our businesses. So when I pitched, one of the attendees then advised me to get into, to expand the business into providing agriculture machinery. So when I came back and reported to our facilitators, they supported me and I started to pursue it until today, and it started in 2015. Yes.
I understand. So that's a great story about the different opportunities and how you took those opportunities and got to where you are today. But I'm sure you must have faced a lot of challenges along the way. So I wanted to ask, what are some of maybe the key challenges that you face being a co-founder of a business in industries like agriculture and automobiles? And how do you overcome them, or how did you deal with such challenges? I had to unmute.
Okay, of course, the challenges are quite many, but I'm just going to pick out just like 5 of them related to agriculture. The automobile business, I'm going to leave it out, but I'm going to focus on agriculture. When we piloted our activities, we thought things would move on very well, which couldn't happen. Where we went in Uganda, we realized we were serving a number of smallholder farmers who are scattered, and serving them was really a challenge. We incurred a high operational costs, and those high operational costs involved measuring their farms. We could do all those ones manually, measuring, going to their different places. We could incur fuel, as in terms of driving the tractors to their places. Today we're serving this farmer in this area, another day we're serving another. And so what I can say, they are all scattered. And we could inspect their farms before we could deploy our tractors. Because if you miss out on that activity, It means you go to a farm where you cannot work when it is full of tree stumps, when it is full of stones. And when you go with your tractor there, it means you will damage it. So this one involved conducting a lot of sensitization campaigns and to demonstrate to the farmers. Secondly, the farmers were serving. Of course, we entered the market using compact tractors of around 25 HP horsepower. These ones are small, but they have similar features as big tractors. Now, farmers would always say, oh, are those ones, they could undermine and they could not understand that they also offer similar services as big tractors. So it was after conducting a number of demonstrations to them, and they have a practical approach of how these tractors work, majority of them were skeptical. And secondly, when we started, we've been earning income from only one operation. You know, the tractors, you can attach a range of implements and you do several implements you do several activities from plowing, sowing, crop management, harvesting, and post-harvest handling. What farmers know mainly is that tractors are used for fast plowing. So if you could interest them to sow with a tractor, they could not believe. They are still skeptical about it. So this one forced us to depend so much on seasonal income, and we could not break even in the way we're operating. Then another issue, for those ones that were able to be sensitized, some of them wanted to take up these other activities, but access to finance is a problem. It's a very, very huge problem. Majority of them could afford only to pay for fast plowing. Then when you interest them to do other activities with a tractor, they could not be able to afford. They don't keep proper books of accounts such that you could be able to link them to a formal commercial financial institution. So it was really a challenge to us to generate income, and it is still, but we are finding solutions, as I'm going to tell you. Then we had a challenge of finding tractor operators. You know, majority of the skilled operators, the operators that are available, they are used to working with the big tractors. Those ones of say 50 horsepower and above. So calling them to work with these small tractors, because the output when you use the small tractor is around, depending on the activity that you are doing, it can give around 3 to 5 acres in a day. And yet an operator who has been used to work with a big tractor can have, say, 5 acres to 8 acres in a day. And the way we pay operators, we pay them on a piecemeal basis. So whatever the number of acres that they've worked on in a day is what we pay for. We give them 10% of the amount that the farmer has paid. So they wouldn't be interested to work with the small tractors. So also availability of spares is also an issue. So when it comes to importing the spares, they are taxable. It makes the spares very expensive. And yet when you are importing the tractors, they are exempt. They are exempt. So there's a mismatch there, because if you're allowing the tractors not to be taxed at the time of being imported, then why would you charge the spares for tractors? So that one makes the spares very expensive, and you find that you cannot, sometimes when you have the breakdowns, you look for something for the spares on the market, you can't find. Now, what solutions have we been able to come up with? Some initiatives that we've been able to do include, we've engaged into conducting several technology demonstrations such that farmers can be able to see. Secondly, we introduced the idea of working with cooperative societies, whereby we partnered with cooperative societies in Eastern Uganda, and we piloted a mechanization scheme with them. As in piloting the mechanization scheme with them, we requested the chairperson of the cooperative society to give us the agents that they work with that mobilize the farmers. such that they could aggregate the demand for our services. Now, whether the client, the farmer had money or not, the agent would present the names of all the farmers that are interested in mechanizing their farm operations to their leaders in the cooperative society. So the cooperative society leaders, we got into a meeting and we introduced a mechanization facility for their members. So at this point, the farmer would not be our client, but it would be the cooperative society. Because what we would do for them, they would organize them according to the villages. And what were we trying to solve them? Such that instead of serving the scattered farmers and incur high operation costs, we could say tackle area by area. And secondly, the cooperative society would give credit to their members to pay for our services. And then the cooperative society would recover the money slowly from their farmers. Then another alternative that the other solution that we engaged in is to skill tractor operators. So far we've skilled 34 farmers to operate the tractors, repair them, and service them. That is, we've been able to get some funding from Private Sector Foundation Uganda, and we partnered with the Sitema University because we realized as a company we do not have the competence to skill the farmers. So we worked with a university, and for them they skilled them, and they've been certified by the Directorate of Industrial Training in Uganda. So right now, as we look for for tractor operators of the brand that we have, we can employ for these ones from these ones that we've skilled. And it is an activity that we are going to take on annually. So far, those are the solutions that we are working on. We've been able to come up with.
Thank you. That's a very comprehensive answer. And I think, it's very impressive how you've, working with partnerships, consolidation, and, as you say, becoming a bit more vertical in your work in terms of going into skilling the farmers and things like that, that you've been able to address some of these challenges that you face. And they're definitely incredibly difficult. So next question that I wanted to ask, beyond this, agriculture and transport, could you also tell us a bit more about how your work is also helping to create a food secure and zero hunger world? If you can unmute yourself.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, I can start with our goal. Our goal is to contribute to the transformation of smallholder agriculture from subsistence to sustained profit enterprises in Uganda. 80% of food production comes from smallholder operations, and there is need to support them to access critical farm inputs, including labor-saving technologies, and also to access service markets. You find that from our experience working with farmers, we've noted that most of the farming activities are being done by women. And these women, they have other multiple functions they perform to meet the welfare of their needs. So executing timely farm operations is a big challenge on their side, because if one has to look after the kids, one has to collect firewood, one has to collect water, then that means the real time that they would spend on real farming is reduced. And if the season comes in, it means that with all the activities, the multiple functions they have to divide their time. And for them to catch the season, they have, most of them, scale down their farm operations. What do? If one is able to do an acre of land, that means this farmer would take, like, say, 2 weeks to prepare an acre of land, just. But when I come in with a tractor and I hire this farmer, help this farmer to use it with a skilled operator, then our services using this mini tractor delivers an acre well plowed in 3 hours. then that means the farmer will save 14 days of engaging into preparing an acre of land to be able to plant in time. So what happens if we reduce the time for them they engage in farming? What does it mean to them? They would be able to expand either their farms from 1 to 4 acres if they have access to land. If one doesn't have access to land, they would still be able to engage in other income generating activities. For instance, we worked with Miss Fauza in Bugiri. Previously, before we started working with her, she would farm an acre of land and they would produce rice. But then when we started to work for her, she could have an acre of rice, she could engage in maize production, and we also helped her to plant using a tractor. So the output from an acre where she was doing manually and where she used a tractor, she had increased productivity and she had surplus that she put out for sale. So what Mukusu does is we help farmers, we finance them to improve farm efficiency, produce quality, and also have surplus that they can put out to the market to sell and generate income and be able to meet their other needs as in terms of meeting their food security requirements. Like I've said for Fauza, her yield increased from 500 kilograms per acre to 1,165 kilograms per acre just in maize production. And the saved time of 60 hours, just a minimum, she used it into livestock farming. And she would get milk, sell milk, and generate 30,000 shillings per day. So as in terms of our work contributing to food security, I can say we do a good work. Yes.
Those are very impressive and very amazing productivity and gains, and that you've been able to make such a big difference in people's lives. Maybe could you also expand a bit more about how your work helps to prevent poverty? I understand that your company is a winner of the Innovations Against Poverty Fund, so congratulations on that. Maybe you can tell us a bit more.
Sincerely, I'm very, very grateful to Innovations Against Poverty for having selected our project entitled Sustainable Agriculture through Mechanization and Digital Inclusion. This project is going to run for 2 years and it will end in March 2023. What is the objective? The objective of us implementing this project is to have an efficient mechanization offering and fleet management for optimization of operational costs, enabling outreach and commercial sustainability, at the same time catering for the interests of other value chain actors. In this project, we don't want to work alone, we want to work with other value chain actors in crop production. Why? Because we interact with farmers on a daily basis, we are at the forefront of making sure that when they are planting, they do it right. When they are planting, they get the right seeds, they get the right fertilizers, not the fake ones. When they increase productivity of their land, they will be able to get more yield. When they get more yield, instead of one, like I've already said, that one would have an acre of land, then that means this farmer would not have good, let me say, the yield would be low. Like I've given a case of Fauza where she was getting 500. But then when we started working with her, what happened? Her yield increased. She had something to put out for sale. And she had also to engage in other income generating activities. So she's increasing the sources of income. Then you look at other players, if we are working with them, since we've already signed up a partnership with cooperative societies where we work, and we are now serving farmers in an organized way, that means we can be able to link these farmers to other service providers, like to access credit, like accessing markets. All those ones contribute to a way these farmers can be able to access better markets for for better profit than selling individually. So they can sell in bulk through working hand in hand with other cooperative societies and other value chain actors, especially the development agencies that support farmers to make sure that they improve their standard of living. So we believe we have also an upper hand right from the start of planting the food up to when it comes to the table, and up to, because it goes through a series and we need to work hand in hand with all of them. And as in working hand in hand with all of them, we are creating also opportunities for people to get employment, to get jobs and generate income. So we believe we are doing something for the people, as in fighting poverty. Now, also in this project, it involves embracing use of digital tools in all our operations. And not only on our side, we are looking at mounting devices to the tractors, so that even the farmers that do not have access to internet, we help them to get information about their farm operations. And this one, we've already signed up with Hello Tractor. We've signed with Grameen Foundation, so that whatever data we collect from working for these farmers, we can be able to analyze it and try to find solutions for these farmers to access better services and link them to those ones who can give them solutions to their needs. We are thrilled to also work with Innovations Against Poverty due to the technical support that is giving us and the opportunities that are coming with while working on this project. In this project, there are people that I want to appreciate that have helped me to put it up. There's a company called Advantica. There's Miss Color Broking. They've been working closely with me to make sure that I generate the income, I get the resources I need to meet my cash contribution towards project implementation. And let me just give an example. The crowdfunding exercise is one way that has really given me a lesson that like I wouldn't, if it had not been for this project coming through and requiring me to have my own cash contribution, I wouldn't have thought of going into crowdfunding. But the crowdfunding exercise has helped me also to connect with you, female, generation female. It's an opportunity that came through. I wouldn't be talking to you right now if it were not for that. And we've been able to successfully achieve our target. And I'm going to have more implements that we shall be able to reduce our higher prices from 100,000 shillings to 80,000, so that we make our services more affordable to the farmers. So as we make our services more affordable to the farmers, it means that the level of adopting mechanization will increase, and the opportunity to increase farm efficiency and increased produce for better income. That's what I can say for now.
No, it sounds like a very important project, and I wish you all the best with the project as it goes on until 2023. So with generation change, besides talking about your work, we also like to find out a bit more about your personal journey and outlook. So I'm going to shift gears, so to speak. So the first question that I wanted to ask is, what is it like being a woman leader in Uganda?
It is a good opportunity because as a woman leader, I've said there are so many initiatives that are helping women to become good leaders. First of all, we have associations, chambers of commerce. Women Uganda, Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association, Uganda Investment Authority, all those business associations, they are supporting us women. Even banks have come up with interventions of supporting us in partnership with these business associations. So the environment in Uganda is really very conducive as in terms of supporting women to become very good leaders. So as a good leader, you know, you can't get it all at once. It is a combined effort of going to for those sessions that are being offered to women to improve their leadership skills. So whoever is proactive to ensure that you get the right skills, there are very, very many opportunities for us to go and attend these sessions. At the same time, there are online sessions. Like myself, I've been able to do an online course as in terms of improving my leadership skills, which was offered by, let me just get it, which was offered by, a minute. Yeah, which was offered by the African Institute for Economic Development and Planning and UN Global Compact Academy. Me, I always reach out to those people, and I've also participated in accelerator programs like Vital Voices, which have all trained me, which have given me the right skills. For instance, when I became a participant in the UN Global Compact, there was a summit where I was able to reach out to Miss Karime that has given me pro bono services. You know, it all comes back to an individual. If you access this information, are you able to apply it? Are you able to reach out to people that can help you? So the personality of somebody else helps, much as you've gained all this information about having the right qualities as a good leader. What else do you do as a person to reach out to other people so that you find solutions to the challenges you are facing? So the environment is quite good, but it all goes back to an individual to make sure that whatever opportunity that is there, that fits into what you do, into solving your challenges, you utilize it. So what I can say, I'm one person who is open to learning on a continuous basis to improve my leadership skills.
That's great. Glad to hear that's a very positive experience that you've had, and I admire your outlook in terms of being very proactive about seizing the opportunities that are in front of you. Are there any major challenges that you have faced in your journey, your personal journey, to get to where you are today, and how did you overcome them?
I forget. The personal challenges are there. Being a woman and you do business, you're in a male-dominated sector. Sometimes people try to undermine us women. You know, like we don't come out so fast as men where I am, because like I said, I entered this business, but my background is I'm an accountant, and I had worked in the formal sector. So where I'm working, it is mainly of an informal sector. So I had to adjust, to adapt to the new environment, but at the same time, keeping the values of running a good company, conducting a business in a formal way. So I'm trying to balance, because the environments are totally different. Having been in the corporate world and getting into this informal sector, which is male denominated. So there's a challenge for me. As you say out something, then somebody would like, no, she doesn't understand. But quietly, you would go and talk to another person. And after the other person has talked to convince the other, no, she understands it, then the person will come back to you. Or else, if you see somebody cannot believe in you, definitely I have to call somebody who is more, whom they will listen to, but then I'll push through what the company needs are. And then it will not be me to front them. I'll let the other person whom they believe in more than a woman to talk to them. So that is a challenge that I'm facing. And the automobile business, of course, me, I don't understand those things of repairs, of managing the cars, understanding which mechanical part is a problem. So if you don't have somebody who is very honest, then you can lose a lot of money. So it depends on the person that you work with. Is he transparent? Is he sharing a vision as you have? So once that two are in line, then you cope up. But once the person is pursuing a different vision from what you have as a company vision, then there is a challenge. It needs that you have to sit this person and you get to a round table to understand what you should be pursuing. So that one also takes time and a lot of some bit of patience to get to that level. But otherwise, it all goes back to your personality to find out ways of making sure that you reach a consensus where the two of you, or that the customer you are interacting with, that is a man or whoever, that is not believing in you, gets to understand that you really understand and you are giving a good service. So for the 9 years that I've been in this business, we have repeat customers in the automobile business because now they believe in us, that what we sell is genuine, and we try to make sure that the clients are well protected in whatever they do. So that's what I can talk about in my business journey.
That's great. Are there any women leaders you look up to or who have inspired you on your journey, or male leaders?
There are quite many, but in this case, there are about two ladies that I want to recognize now that inspire me. Miss Karime Abib. This is a lady that I didn't know at all. I just approached her. But then she was so quick. It was during COVID time when we were in a lockdown. And we were not generating income. Everything was at a standstill. Then I had to think, what else can we do to make sure that after the lockdown, or if the lockdown is to continue, we try to generate income. So having attended the other summit that I've told you about, I just got in touch with this lady as it was a Zoom meeting, and she posted something, Karime Abebe in this, I hope women entrepreneur, I hope people to build sustainable businesses. I said, no, this is the woman I need. I quickly wrote to her. This lady, without taking a single day or even 3 hours, she responded to me. And she briefly asked, can we set up a meeting for this? We set up a meeting in 2 days, and then I explained, and she offered me pro bono service. Now, why am I being inspired by what she does? She's one person who is so, she listens a lot. She asks a lot of questions to understand what you want to do. She went out of her way and started to do a benchmarking exercise at no cost. And when I do the sessions she does through Women Empower International, I get inspired day by day. And she has helped me to attend all these sessions by getting for me sponsors. Another woman that I look up to is Miss Carla Broking. Carla Broking is a woman I met in 2015 when I went for the trade mission in the Netherlands. So when there was an investor matchmaking session that was conducted by Big Network Foundation, she came. Me, I had forgotten about her, but then she reached out to me. Don't you remember I was so and so and so? Since that time, I've been moving with this lady since 2016 when we started the pilot. She has given me so many solutions as in terms of reaching where I am, even up to today. She keeps giving me resources, reach out here, reach out to this one. And she keeps telling me, I'm doing this lesson so that I gain more knowledge in this. So I look up to her because of her golden heart. So those are the two legs. There are quite so many, but I can't mention all of them. They could be known to others, may not be known to others, but those two people, I look up to them because of what they do and the kind of support they provide on a daily basis.
I'm glad to hear that you've had such inspiring and supportive fellow women leaders helping you out. And I think, at Generation Female, obviously this is something that we believe strongly in, that women should support and help other women where we can. So just moving to the next question, how would you describe maybe your own leadership philosophy and what leadership means to you?
Okay, to me, let me just quickly say that leadership to me means that you have to be an exemplary person in what you do. You have to make sure that you take an approach, a collaborative approach. If you want to achieve a certain goal, I can't work alone. I must make sure that I work as a team with other people and empower those ones that know, empower the people I work with to make sure that they implement the project, the activities of any business with all the support they need, and also to ensure that when you are stuck to something, you don't restrict yourself to closed boundaries, you reach out to other people to find solutions. So that's what I can quickly say about leadership on my side. You can't work alone, it's a combined effort and it involves, as in reaching out to others, you must identify the right networks where you can find the solutions to what you need. Because in this global environment, you find that we do probably similar things in one way, they are unique from each other. But then you find that we are all pursuing maybe a different goal. Maybe if we are all fighting poverty, is it possible to identify the right agencies or individuals that are having a similar vision as you do, to make sure that you reach out to them and join efforts to implement your activities in a cost-friendly way, and you try also to share risks as in pursuing different goals. That's what I can quickly say for now.
Thank you. And what advice would you give to young women looking to become entrepreneurs and women leaders? It's still muted.
My advice to fellow women, young women, and everybody is that once you know you believe in something or you have an idea, please share it with others, nurture it, study the risks, the advantages of it, and reach out to the necessary, to the people that can be of help. And once you've started on something, please focus on it, like mechanization of smallholder agriculture. In my case, it has been a challenging business. But then I said, I'm in it. I can't get out of it. I have to find solutions to make it work. And believe me, it's my hard work. I've remained focused, and I know I'll reach where I need the business to be, and we create impact for the community of smallholder farmers, and we fight poverty and also try to achieve the global goals as a combined effort with the institutions we collaborate with. because had it not been my hard work and thinking hard during COVID-19 lockdown, I wouldn't have been able to refocus to see how to reshape our business, and I wouldn't have reached out to Karime, a woman who is based in Switzerland. So I believe in myself, and I know that with hard work I can achieve, but I cannot achieve alone. I have to work with other people. That's why I use the approach of reaching out to people who can support. And my reaching out to Karime didn't go to waste. It has brought in results. We worked together and we shaped this the project that IAP was able to select because of the hard work that I had during the lockdown with Ms. Karime. So in short, what I'm saying, let us believe in ourselves. Don't fear. Believe in yourself. Make sure you keep on to find solutions. Yeah. When you remain focused, then you have to achieve. And understanding your driving force. The driving force is very, very important. So to me, my driving force is to make sure that I help others to excel. And I'm doing something similar to that. Like, if I'm able to reach out to this, then what is it that I can do? I generate income from it, but at the same time creating impact for others. So that's what drives me a lot.
And do you have any specific advice for women in your industry or looking to embark in a career in your industry? Is there anything you wish you knew before you started out?
When I was still in the formal sector being employed, I used to fear getting into business. But then I would be worried, what if I hit this age? What will I do? But then I said to myself, okay, I'm educated. I'm doing ABCD. I've been able to do ABCD. Actually, what opened my eyes is interacting with a business community while still working at the Chamber of Commerce. I realized that as an entrepreneur, you can gain a lot. I'm not saying that people can leave formal employment, be there, but then you think of starting something and give way to others, because what I realized that if people in the informal sector who do not keep proper books of accounts, who do not have opportunities due to their way of doing business, they excel in doing business. They make good money in whatever they do. Then I realized if I have a skill of financial management that these business people do not have, why can't I use this? So I would advise fellow women, especially in the corporate sector, identify what your strength is. Do an assessment of yourself. If you are strong in speaking, public speaking, why wouldn't you use that to start something of your own? Or if you are doing something, you would also think of making sure that you use that to promote your business. Me, the strength that has helped Mukusu to reach where it is, it's because I'm good in numbers and financial management. I did all those things, and I make sure that I understand all the internal controls of managing a business, and I file my tax returns and being tax compliant. So my background as a finance person in the formal sector helped me to enter business with the right mindset of doing business in the right way. So it is the same thing that I'm advising fellow women that are still in the employment sector or in whichever sector. Find your strength and use your strength to move your business or to start something of yourself. That's what I can say.
And what is next for you, Margaret? Are there any other plans or goals that you hope to achieve?
Yeah. My plan is that I want to see Mukusu, grow. Because I know I quit employment. I'm no longer employed. I need to survive. And I have children who I want also to inspire to work hard. Actually, I work a lot. All my time, of course, I would have moments of where I meet friends, but I try to focus because if I'm already doing business, I cannot just abandon it. I want at the end of the day also to see that this company grows, we recruit people, and maybe at some point I'm no longer directly engaged, but I'm at the board, and also maybe start something else. Then I want also to inspire my children. If they can see that mommy was doing ABCD, why not us? You know, I want that goal set that also my children focus the way I do. So also to make sure that the farmers that we work for also believe in what they are doing. So my goal is to ensure that at some point, I would be able to see the fruits of our hard work, not as a company alone, but to see that we have also contributed to the change that we would want to see the farmers have. So that's what I can say for now.
That's great, and I wish you all the best on that goal. So that brings me to the end of the questions that I have, and we still have a few questions from the audience. But in the interest of time, I see we only have a few minutes left. So I'm gonna go through the audience questions, and maybe if we have a quick answer, a short answer to keep to the time, that would be great. So the first audience question that we have. As a business owner, what is your assessment of the economic potential and competitiveness of Uganda? How does it fare relative to other African nations, and what do you think can be improved?
In the first place, I would say that Uganda is a well-endowed country. We have natural resources, we have fertile lands, we have too much rainfall, and the political environment is also good. Then the economic environment, we have a lot of support as in terms of the development agencies. They are doing their best. World Bank that are working with these business associations, Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association, Chambers of Commerce, that try to segment us in different sectors. Then they come up with different services that can make sure that the economic environment in Uganda improves. When it comes to the policies, as in terms of investment, there are a lot of incentives that have been put there that encourage investors to come and invest in Uganda, especially in the tourism industry. Then agriculture is also another sector that is being promoted. Health, there are quite sectors that are being supported. Now, of late, there's a lot that is being done as in terms of making sure that problem of unemployment is being solved. A lot of effort is geared towards skilling the young people to become their own bosses, to start their own businesses. So that one gives a lot of hope for the economic environment in Uganda to improve, because if people can start, and right now majority of them are entering agriculture, food production, value chain, the agro-processing. So a lot is being done. So we have also maybe the African community, East African community. There are also policies and incentives that have been created for us to move within the regional economic environment, and even the African Continental Free Trade Area also gives us opportunities to expand our market. So I see there is a big opportunity economically, and even the political environment in Uganda is okay. So I see there's a lot for one to come and do business here. And even us, once we get the right people to support us in different aspects, there's a lot that we can achieve and transform our lives.
Absolutely. So the second audience question I had, do you see Mukusu Moto's business model expanding into other parts of Africa or the world?
Yes, with digital inclusion, there is a lot of positivity as in terms of expanding to other regions. Like we've partnered with the Hello Tractor that is going to give us initially the asset sharing app, which we are going to be using to increase, to scale our activities to different parts of the region. So we can extend our services to other regions using the digital tools. So it's a very good, the use of digital tools gives us an opportunity to conduct business in any part of Africa. And secondly, the African Continental Free Trade Area, it also gives us a wider market whereby there is that component of free movement of labor. It is also an issue, and also one can easily go, once everything, all the phases are implemented, then there is opportunity for us to scale to other regions within Africa.
Great. The third question is not really a question. The third one was a comment. It said, thank you, Margaret, for being an amazing inspiration.
You're welcome.
And the fourth question, what's the most important piece of leadership advice you have ever received? It's still me.
Yeah, the piece of advice that I received is to focus. And this one, I got it when I was attending the Brilliant Entrepreneur program. Focus is a key element, because prior to attending these sessions, I would think of investing here and there. But ever since I got through that training of Brilliant Entrepreneur, and when I attended Vital Voices Accelerator program last year, still it is something that they emphasized, and also to identify my driving force. So having understood what my driving force is, and I'm able to focus. I'm able to focus. That's the great advice that I got.
That's great advice. Question number 5. Do you think women leaders are held to different standards and expectations compared to male leaders? You have to unmute yourself.
It's quite a broad question for me to answer, but let me just be specific to something that is happening as of now. Of course, of late, let me just talk about what is happening of late. Initiatives are there for women that are supporting them to become good leaders. If you look at the university here, when they are selecting students for government scholarship opportunities, they give an added points to female students to make sure that they join the university than before, which is not done to male students. It's not done. So for instance, if I can say, If a girl has scored 10 points, then the government gives 1.5 points just to make sure that this girl gets an opportunity to join the university. So in the same way, I've already talked about this. In Uganda, there are a lot of initiatives that have come up to support women, much as even the men are being supported. But what I hear most for now are initiatives that are supporting women to become effective leaders. That's what I can say for now.
Understand. All right, and the last audience question that we have, how has the COVID-19 pandemic impacted your business?
Yeah, the impact is quite significant. When we went into a total lockdown, we couldn't generate any income. Despite the fact that the agriculture sector remained unlocked, but the disabling of us using transport means to reach out to different areas, it affected the way we could reach out to our farmers. The staff who had gone that deliver the services to the farmers, whoever had gone to his or her family, they wouldn't travel back to come and offer a service to the farmers. We couldn't sell the cars. We were all in our houses. So as a business, we were greatly impacted. And that's why I came up with an idea of reshaping the business. And that's at the point at which we embraced to utilize digital tools to make sure that we continue operating by working with other tractor owners. Yeah.
I understand. Well, thank you so much, Margaret, for taking the time to join us today, for your frank sharing and fascinating insights. I'm always incredibly inspired to meet and talk to young women like you who are the new generation of women leaders and change makers. And thank you to everyone who tuned in, whether you're watching us live or catching up via the replays. I hope you found the session as interesting and inspiring as I did. Now, all Generation Change session recordings are available to view at your complete convenience on our website, generationfemale.net. And you can also sign up to join our community mailing list via our website so that you can get notified of all our events and activities. We do have another session of Generation Change taking place next Thursday at the same time with another very interesting woman leader. And you can find all the details on our website. Well, that's it from us for today. Thank you so much again, Margaret. We are Generation Female, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Generation Female, for giving me this opportunity to share my story. I know it is going to create a lot of opportunities for our company, and we are ready to work with you. Please let us keep in touch. Yeah.